It was 7:42 a.m., and Nathan Carter's hands were already numb from the cold. The Chicago wind didn't care that he was a single father or that he hadn't had a warm breakfast in weeks. His mind was racing as he held his son's tiny hand, walking him to school before his shift at the auto garage. "Do you think Mrs. James will let me stay in for recess again today?" his son, Eli, asked, tugging on Nathan's worn sleeve. Nathan smiled, ruffling Eli's hair. "Only if you promise not to eat all your lunch before noon again." They both laughed, quietly. Laughter had become a rare guest in their little apartment lately. Nathan had been doing everything he could since his wife passed 3 years ago, working double shifts, skipping meals, selling his guitar, and even canceling cable just to keep food on the table and his boy in a safe school. Life wasn't easy, but Nathan held on. For Eli. That morning, on his way to work after dropping Eli off, Nathan spotted a woman struggling on the side of the road with a flat tire. Dozens of cars zipped past her. No one stopped. She was wearing business attire, clearly late for something important, and had tears in her eyes as she tried to use a jack that wouldn't budge. Nathan hesitated. He was already running late. His boss had warned him that one more delay could cost him his job. But something tugged at his gut. He pulled over anyway. "Need a hand?" he asked. She looked up, startled, and then nodded wordlessly. He got to work, kneeling on the frozen ground, replacing the tire in under 10 minutes. She kept thanking him as she wiped away tears, saying she was headed to a big investor meeting for a nonprofit she just launched. She offered him money, but he refused. "I didn't help you for that," he said. "Just, pay it forward." Nathan arrived at the garage 40 minutes late. His boss didn't care about good deeds. He handed Nathan his final paycheck and told him not to come back. That night, Nathan didn't tell Eli what happened. He just smiled through dinner, pretending everything was okay, even as he stared at the eviction notice taped to the fridge. The next few days were brutal. Job applications led nowhere. His phone buzzed constantly with unpaid bill reminders. Nathan felt the weight of hopelessness pressing harder on his chest with every passing hour. And then, one afternoon, as he picked Eli up from school, a sleek black SUV pulled up next to him. The window rolled down. It was her. The woman from the flat tire. "I've been trying to find you for days," she said. "I went to the garage and they told me you were let go." Nathan's face flushed with embarrassment. "Yeah, well, guess I should have kept driving." She smiled softly. "No. You shouldn't have." She stepped out and handed him a folder. Inside were documents, a job offer, from her nonprofit. Full-time. Good salary. Benefits. "I run a charity for single parents trying to rebuild their lives," she said. "It's new. Small. But we need people with heart. People who don't look away. You're exactly the kind of person we want." Nathan stood frozen, unable to speak. Eli clutched his hand tighter. "There's more," she added, holding out a key. "It's to a 2-bedroom apartment we just started leasing for transitional families. You and your son can move in today. No rent. Just, help us help others." Tears welled in Nathan's eyes. For the first time in a long time, he wasn't pretending to smile, he really was. One small act of kindness. One moment of selflessness. That's all it took to change everything. Nathan had lost his job, but in doing so, he found a new purpose, and gave Eli not just shelter, but a future rooted in hope. Because sometimes, the things we lose are just making space for the things we never dreamed were possible. And in a world often too busy to care, choosing to help a stranger just might save you too.